We're not going to accept the fact that people live in houses that have no window.
I think you listen to it, right? This is the reason why Nathaniel McGill was hugely involved in the corruption. Because this country was running directly by McGill. This country was McGill was almost like the president. You go on serious business. You go on serious round table to discuss issue of that will bring the welfare to your citizens. Then you're talking about Awodiato and McGill. They make I don't know he got tattoo or his this president George Weah. I think something is he's the luckiest Liberian I have ever seen. They may play football. He went to world best, African best, all of the best. Yet and stay. He didn't do anything for Liberia. He came back here very broke. Now the Liberian people didn't learn from that. He contested as senator. The Liberian people say, well, send him got all the best, and he came back to Liberia. He did nothing for us. We would make him senator to see if he would do something. He was dead as Bobo. Nothing. Not a single bill he passed. Now we did still learn. We came back and gave him the presidency. He created corrupt guys. And those people who he feel are his associates or he created a surrounding that the only thing you will see there are corrupt people. You listen to him. A responsible government. I'm not saying government was that 100% responsible, but you listen to her tune. Talking to the management of Firestone. She was very boxed. Very and I may say angry. Firestone have gotten lot of money for this country, and she don't expect the lives the people are living in Firestone to be the way it was or the way it is. Because even right now the people in Firestone are not living better lives. With all of the money they have accumulated, they got good money from this country, and yet still the people are still living deplorable lives. Their conditions are still unbearable. And then you have one president there talking like someone I just from the club. But we can't blame him. We blame ourselves because we are yet to learn. You will still see Liberians in the street talking about sanction no sanction. I will vote for you. Sanction no sanction. What is getting in our heads as young people in this country? You have an individual who corrupt, who stole the taxpayer money, Liberians' money, and use it for himself. What is school now? That might get in the player. Then he say, we steal the money, we can't be here, and a good thing. Who told you that good thing? Take your salary. Those things you normally doing. Then we know that you really like the people. But because you are a criminal, and then your father, the man who you call your father is also a criminal, because you are not. I'm not a rogue, right? So if I will have a friend that is a rogue, then they call two are rogues. Because when we are always together, McGill and George, we are always together. McGill what a criminal name from the port authority. Bill Twa were always together. McGill and Cephas. Since he turned a solicitor general, not a good case, a real case to defend Liberia, he had won. But he was there stealing people money, collecting bribes from investors. Then you call him Solicitor General. So all of you are criminals. This is the reason why the American people say, we don't want to see you close to these people. We don't want to see you doing business with these people. These people are blacklisted. They are criminals. So if you go close to them, you are rogue. So don't go there. Why, mind you, Mr. President, your trip to the U.S. is a trip that you need to study very well. Because you like it, you got to go. And when you go, the American people decide to hold you there, they will hold you there. If they decide that you come back, you come back because yourself you can steal. Now, look at the homes. Just within 3 years, the homes you have built yourself. Sometimes I think as to whether when the president can really sit and think and say, well, I'm not treating the Liberian people right. So you have to think about it, Mr. President. You have to think. We as young people in the country, we are benefiting nothing. Only every morning we get out to the news that the president has stealed. McGill have created the in fact, people now in the CDC are very angry. You listen to Dr. Tenney when he said McGill is the problem for the way the country is running. Because he created that barrier. He created that blockage. Wherein, if he's not to the president, no one... Now, even if Twa and McGill, both of them sitting with the president, right? One is on the left and one is on the right. If McGill is on the right, you understand that and why that the president will pay more attention. You always see him carrying a head to McGill than Twa. So that's why normally when you see McGill and Twa sitting with the president, Twa always tie his face. Because he's a Q. He feels that the president pay more attention to McGill, who is more criminal. Though the two of them can steal, but McGill only public criminal. He's a criminal that even the little child now in Liberia, he say who's the best way, they will say McGill, because his criminality have gone war. McGill not tomorrow. We'll take a short break. Before we take a break, let's listen to citizens' a reaction on the sanction. I will not play that you corrupt, you sanction, no sanction, I will vote for you. I can't even play that here because those people like the way they live in. Some of them don't even have bread on their table in the morning to eat. But they will follow fake and liars politicians to sing battlecry how you call it, sanction, no sanction, I will vote for you. But I just want to listen to some of the citizens in the country reaction to the issue of those sanctions on those officials. And right after that, we'll rush to sign. We'll speak with Superintendent Nangbe Chief for 15 minutes and we'll call it a day.
Your name, sir? I'm at August Venezuela. Once again, I'm the executive chairman of the Center for the Exchange of Intellectual Opinions. All right, so Liberians, their views in the public as they relate to the action by President Weah recently to have suspended officials of government who have been sanctioned by the U.S. government. What is the position? Where do you stand? Even though I know you have an intellectual center, though, but you are an opinion leader in this country as your intellectual center. So, where do you stay in the argument? Thank you very much once again. Like I said, I'm the CEO and I'm a Liberian, like you rightly put it, and it is an incumbent and inherent responsibility for all of us to, at this point in time, look in the right direction in connection with how better our country becomes when it comes to fight against the corruption in our society and those vices that are eating up and carrying our country behind as it relates to development. I mean, the construction of good infrastructures, facilities for good health care and education. The first thing I want to say thank you first to the President of Liberia, the President of President George Weah, for taking the first bold steps by having these brothers suspended so as to go and exonerate themselves in this issue that have been pointed out by the U.S. government that has to do with corruption and other forms of scandals, talking about the receiving of bribes, which come in contrast or in contradiction or contravention to our code of conduct or code of ethics in public service. The U.S. government in this point in time has done extremely well for us by going about pointing out in the cycle of government those who have been able to siphon state resources, to corrupt or pillage the economy. And I'm also say kudos to the U.S. ambassador in person of Ambassador McCarthy, who admitted that corruption is back home in this country. But I cannot use that as a premise to say that because corruption is in America, so we should now also recognize corruption in our own society. Because I believe the Americans are respecters of law, in as much as they are respecting their laws back home, that when one is in public service and that person is discovered, Adopting us is the best in the world. So any report coming from there is indeed 98% credible. So as compared to the Liberian system, we have to use our own GSC, which is the General Auditing Commission, the LACC, and the PBCC of Liberia to ensure, because you're talking about kickback, you're talking about conflict of interest. So those are areas, conflict of interest take place. So I believe in the wisdom of the president and the committee that will be set up to investigate these guys.
We are 3 months to 2023.
Yeah.
That's something that all Liberians wish to see.
Yeah.
The suspension of the 3 government officials. Yeah. Do you think it will have any negative impact or effect on the re-election of President?
It may have negative impact of President Weah's re-election. It may not have negative impact. If President
We want the opposition tomorrow to accept the result, because all of those counts are counts that the opposition have accused the individual of.
Do you agree on the count so far? Do you agree on what the
How do I agree when I'm very close to Prince Maluba, who works for Focus FM? Prince Maluba, who confide in me. We are too close, and some guy may envy me. Why I'm not a press? I'm too close to Prince Maluba. These things happen. During Malam Salita, we heard the name of Robert Salih. Who was Robert Salih? You are not prime minister in disguise. People felt that as a son of the president.
No, I'm asking.
I'm coming now. So he specifically no. In this case of the censure,
well, the follower, something wrong with him. I just don't talk about that. Talk about that is not serious.
You tell your own.
You know, this guy would have been a better.
No, you better tell your own.
For me, the follower, there's a time, even if the law will come, the time has come for them to really look in the face of one and say, look, Mr. We are officials of government that will use that they are doing one thing, exposing and take action. You saw the case of Zona Kamara. What was you? You saw the case of the MTA, director. What come all of
the Minister of Agriculture.
The LCC said they indicted them. What come all of this? At the end of the day, almost said they are self-free.
Do you think this action by the U.S. government that have led to the suspension of very influential government officials in the U.S. government, do you think it will have negative impact on his re-election come 2023?
Even if they are not indicted the official, re-election is supposed to be allowed.
Why you think?
He's not going to win election yet. Look at the way the country.
Welcome to the show and thanks for rejoining us. This is KMTV, it's the KMTV morning show, and we are live here Mondays to Fridays. Today is the weekend edition of the show, and we're talking issues, cross-section of issues of national concern. If you want to join us, you join us KMTV Liberia or KM Radio International. You can scan our QR code posted on the screen and you will listen to our live program on our KM Radio International. And then you can also follow us via YouTube. We got KMTV Liberia YouTube page. You can also join us on that. And this morning, we managed now to see if we can have, I think you listen to the citizens' reaction on the issue of corruption. Though there are still Liberians that are yet to listen. And then if you see out of 10 persons now in Liberia, do your statistics. Go and do your evaluation. 10 persons out of Liberia. More like the way it used to be, you will see out of 10 persons, 8% will be like supporting the CDC government, supporting, because our spirit that we are brought to Liberia is turning the other way. But now out of 10 persons, if 6 is in defense of, 4 is in defense of we are, 6 will go on the other way. Even 3 will be in defense of the CDC government. You have the rest of the people going the other way because they are getting tired. Even the old man that are selling coal in the market, everybody not getting fed up with the way things are going. Because you go to the market now, the old man can go to spend whole day. First they used to make that 500, 1,000, 1,005, but now they go to make 200. Now they go to make 150. It is because money is not in the country. You have few handful of people that possess the money. They have the money to their very homes, not in banks. They just use the money, they and their family. Then why should we have a government, a democratic elected government? That's what one of the guys was saying yesterday. I think the war down was okay, but mind you, war is not a good thing. It's not okay for our country. We went through 14 years of war, and what we benefited? In the destruction. We benefited deaths. People were killed massively. People were killed, very in a bad condition. You talk about the long sleeves, the short sleeve, people were stomach, but I don't even know how to term it. So I don't think we should go back to war, but we should keep trying. One day God will bring us a God-sent leader. We managed now to have on the line this morning Superintendent of Sino County, Honorable Lee Nangwe Chie is the Superintendent of Sino County. There are things happening in Sino. We want to know from him exactly what's his stand on some of those things that are unfolding there in the county, he being the direct president of the county in the absence of the president of Liberia. Superintendent Nangwe Chie joined us this morning from his office in Sino. We couldn't have invited video because of time and his engagement as well, but we'll take invite audio so that we can just have it going on. Superintendent Chie, good morning. Thanks for joining us from Sino.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for joining us. How's life going on there in Sino? Where you join us from?
Well, Amos, I'm right in my office, but unfortunately, I'm in a very tight meeting. So I would appreciate if we can do this within a space of 2 minutes, or you call me right back after the meeting. I'll call you back after the meeting. You have me so I can have ample time to talk. I would appreciate that.
Okay, then 2 minutes, no problem. If people are listening to you, also do it after your meeting. Probably we can just take few points from you on what's unfolding because you're already here. There are too many things happening in the country. I mean, most especially the death of the individual there in Tower, and as we run towards the election, the president broke grounds on some projects. Where are the stands on the projects? And as we run to the election, what's your own stand as superintendent? We'll just have that, and then we can rush.
So you see, the most important part about it is that the death of Isaac Jebo, and that is the reasons our team of investigators are here from Monrovia, precisely Ministry of Justice, and they are the ones with the local leadership here of that district and the county, and the county attorney. We are in the meeting in my office here, so it'll be very important to just hold on after this meeting, then you give a total insight of what you want to hear about. I would appreciate if our listening audience also appreciate us having that time.
Okay, ain't no problem. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Amos.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we will have it as it is because he's in a meeting with those investigators, those individuals from the Ministry of Justice. We're hoping that as they there have been lots of death in the country, not only Sino. Lots of violence in the country. And then those people that perpetrate those violence will come to defend themselves. Investigation, they will say they'll be investigating, they will investigate for the next decades. Nothing will come from all of it. The death of Incha Topa, the death of other people that were raped to death, people that got killed up to now. You understand? So there's control under investigation. The judicial system is a political judicial system. All of the judges on the bench there are all politicians. Once you are not in that line, once you are not